The purpose of this video is that I, the preceptor, will be teaching my preceptee Jane a skill within the psychomotor domain. Her learning objective is that Jane will be able to demonstrate the proper medication administration technique back to her preceptor by the end of the 3-minute teaching session. The initial teaching strategy that's going to be used is demonstration. I will be demonstrating to Jane the proper techniques and safety protocol when administering medication. So firstly, I will start off with reciting the 10 rights of medication administration, which would include the right patient, the right medication, the right dosage, the right route, the right time, the right documentation, the right client education, the client's right to refuse, the right assessment, and the right evaluation. Each of these things are key components in medication administration. If we follow these 10 rights, we should be administering medication correctly each time. Now to move on to triple checking the medication. Below we can see the patient medication administration record, also known as the MAR. On the MAR you should find today's date, the patient's last and first name, their date of birth, and their MRN number, medical registration number, which will be unique to this patient only. You will also find the time at which the medications are meant to be administered and the medications that are meant to be administered at this time. Now that we have the MAR in front of us, we can proceed with triple checking our medication. Our first medication right here, Pantoprazole. We can compare the name of the medication, Pantoprazole, with the dose, 40 milligrams, and the route, PO. Moving on to the next medication, Bisoprolol. Once again, we compare the name, Bisoprolol, the dose, 5 milligrams, and the route, PO and PO. Now, repeat this process again. Pantoprazole, 40 milligrams, PO and PO, and once again with Bisoprolol. Same name, same dose, same route. Now the final and third medication check will be done at the patient's bedside. We are now at the patient's bedside, where we will be checking for 3 patient identifiers, which include their first and last name, their date of birth, and their MRN number. Now, not all patients have the capacity to answer these questions, which is why every patient in the hospital should have one of these bracelets. It'll state their last and first name, their date of birth, their MRN, and the facility in which they are admitted. By bringing the MAR to the patient bedside, we can compare the information on the patient identifier bracelet with the information that is on the MAR, and it should be the exact same. Now that we have confirmed that we have the correct patient, we can go ahead and do our final and third medication check against the MAR. It is correct. It is correct. Now, before we administer the medication, we will go through the 10 rights of medication administration again. We have ensured that we have the right medication, the right patient, the right dose, the right route, the right time. We have educated our patient as to why they are getting this medication. They are not refusing. They have been assessed correctly beforehand. For example, Bisoprolol, heart rate and blood pressure have been checked, and it is safe to give this medication. We'll give the medication, document that we have given it, and return to evaluate our patient once the medication has been administered. Now that I have demonstrated to Jane the proper procedures and techniques of medication administration, she will have to demonstrate these procedures back to me. She should be able to do this right away. However, it will also take repeated imitation and repeated practice. Eventually, she will become proficient and will build a new mechanism in which this way of administering medications becomes habitual. And by doing so, she can avoid future medication errors.